It shows you the whole man in biomechanics, the complete and perfected man. But what is he talking about? The complete and perfected man. Well, we all know that Solomon was the builder of the temple. Solomon is the soul of the man, and in the temple that he was building was the temple of man. And this particular man was the last addition to the human family that was being used as an oppressor. The whole thing was that we would all one day be so confused that we rise up and just all of the Caucasians, all these Europeans. They ain't the problem and they ain't the source. I told y'all they're not the problem, they're not the source. In order for you to escape the dividing... In order for you to escape the divide and conquer mechanism, you have to be able to have a dog in every fight. And you have to be able to... I'm going to push this on pause for a minute while I got to deal with something. All right, so we go back to the structure, and we go back to the references. Everything is discoverable if you know what you're looking for. Everything is discoverable. So we got to put all the pieces together. So we got somebody in every fight. We got a dog in every fight. I want to go back to Noble Drew Ali because don't nobody understand how he started a whole different organization, right? He started a different Moorish organization. Go back to the beginning, it was called the Moorish Zionist Temple of Islam. The Moorish Zionist Temple of Islam. Now, who in the hell is them people and where are they at today? I don't know. What happened to Noble Drew Ali? We had a meeting in the Travel Lodge years ago. And they realized there was a piece missing. So they called a brother up from Jamaica, Marcus Mosiah Garvey, to give us the final piece to the puzzle so that we could put this African conjure down on their head. They can't escape it. See, what we did is a reversal conjure. A reversal conjure. That means that all of the dirt they playing for us, go back to them. Right? All of the backbiting, all of the thievery, go back to them. So, in this process, we put a dog in every fight. Noble Drew Ali was our first point man in the Moorish temple. Now, there's a difference between a Moor, there's a Moabite, and Almoravid. The defenders of the faith are not the same as Moors. Almoravid, as you can find them, Dr. Ivan Van Sertima will talk about them and how they came from the Holy City and helped to establish schools all the way over as far west as Morocco. But they wasn't Moroccan. They wasn't Moors. And then we looked at that. If Almoravids were the defenders of the faith, then they called the people from Morocco Moray. Those are two different groups of people. Because, as you know, Greek was written by Egyptian priests. And Latin was written by Carthaginian priests. Now watch the move. Hannibal, he was a Carthaginian, and he was on a march to crush the enemy, which was Rome. He was on a march to crush them. He had took a vow to his father, Hamilcar, that under no circumstances would he make allegiance with them imposters that was pretending to be righteous under the Roman emperors. But he was fighting them, and you watch what happened. One of the ones in Carthage that looked like him sold him out. He cut the money off. See, now we're dealing with economics again. We're dealing with this money situation. Everything on this planet, the Creator put it here for us to use for free. Only thing we're supposed to pay for it is labor and effort. Now, when you get to the point where we are now, the system and the structure of the system requires economics in order to survive, because of the way it's set up. I can survive off the fat of the land. I don't need money. I can live in the jungle. All right. So We're going to go back and then we're going to come back to this. Dane Calloway, historian. I gave you references about Moors. Yesterday I told you about my Angel Bay. Yep. I told you about Larry Hoover. But I didn't tell you about Tukey on the West Coast or none of the Bloods on the West Coast. I didn't tell y'all about that. Now, I touched on a little bit about the outlaws and Machiavelli and this motherfucker. Illuminati shit. But now I'm finna touch on the Empire State. The Empire State. They had a movie called King Kong. In the movie King Kong ends up taking this white lady to the top of the Empire State Building. What is the Empire and why is New York the Empire State? Well, you will never know why New York is the Empire State unless you know where Old York is. Old York is called Yorkshire, England. Now, that's ran by a royal family. Look at the family crest, and for some strange reason, you got people that look like us on there. Think about that while I take this sip. On the crest for the European royal families, they look like us. But they ain't us. Because if they was us, we would have knew. You see? Because we would have had a historical record of it being us. That ain't us. That's some imposters. So what did they do? Now I told y'all they used the European, the minority group, to attack the larger groups, to perpetuate the divide and conquer. So as soon as we figure it out, we can go haywire and start people. And the race war is the illusion. The race war that they want to start is the illusion. That's the way for them to get us fighting each other so they can get right back in power and sit behind the scenes. Now you got to remember, we are in what they call the Kali Yuga state. We're coming out of that now. That's what you call the phase of the hidden gods. These watered down fake gods went to South Africa so that they could try to make it look like a slave trade. There was never a slave trade. It's what you're not understanding. We invited those pale-skinned Europeans over here to get a drop of blood so that they can earn the right to ascend through the great melting pot process, the same as we did for China, Japan, and various other parts of the world when they did it to them. So now here we go again. They want to try to pit us against the European under the false pretenses of police shooting us in the back, killing these kids. And they actually killing people that's unawares of who and what they are. Only certain people are allowed to kill certain people. Because y'all don't understand that, because that's a higher law. In the lower realms, when your vibration is low and you are in a slumber state, you can't quite see everything clearly. And so you start to become confused, and then they have turn you on your own because they can't just kill us like that. If we stop killing each other, they in trouble. If we stop killing each other in the streets, they in trouble. So what do? A dog in every fight, right? They tried to make us turn on each other by promoting gang life. When did they do it? And how did they get the message to us? Well, it started with with entertainment. If you go back, you have always had people that click together for survival purposes in small groups. And the small groups normally didn't prey on each other and they didn't conflict. Normally when they encountered each other, it was a mutual respect between these groups that they end up calling them gangs. When you do your research on the history of the gang, they end up taking you back to the Empire State and starving children in the boroughs. These starving children in the boroughs was joining together to go and steal food from merchants that was on the Manhattan area, where all of the money was being coagulated. They was condensing the money to build what they call Manhattan, which is the Diamond Coast and all that in New York, where all of the money is concentrated at to this day. Wall Street, all that. As they were doing this, they think that we wasn't going to figure it out. You got to be out your mind. And so in the Empire State, King Kong climbs the Empire State Building and they shoots him down and kills him. Okay. I understand your point that you're trying to make. And we ain't falling for it. King Kong ain't gonna fall. Y'all got down when he was asleep. You see. Y'all got down when the King of the Congo was asleep. Now he beating on his chest, swinging from these lampposts, pounding this concrete, and all of these motherfucking baby gorillas is around this motherfucker lining up. This 100 monkey effect taking full flight. You can't stop it. It's an unstoppable move. We know who you are. We know what you did. You can put your motherfucking shit down, pack your bags, and get ready to go because you're not staying here. I don't know where you're going, but you will not stay here. If you stay here, we will send you somewhere else. Now, dog in every fight. Our Black Keystone Rangers, or our Black Power Stones. Yeah, look at your Power Rangers. We got signals in all forms of entertainment where we alert each other. Every form of mysticism, good and bad, we got somebody there. I'm going to give you an example. Because I'm a bad boy with this shit. You dig? I'm a bad boy. And I ride rough on these motherfuckers. They don't see it coming. So, everybody think that I don't see what I see. Just because I don't speak on it. Big G dropped some jewels. And I picked every one of them up. Because you can't know what's going on unless you know what's going on. Understand me? Understand? You can't know what's going on unless you know what's going on. So, before I rain this purple shit on their ass, before I give them a thriller, I'm going to continue dropping little pieces in here for the brethren so that they'll know I'm ready for the move. I'm about to journey home. I think I hear somebody calling me in the distance. I'm just east to where she at, and she in the west, or just west of where I'm at. I'm sitting here in the right hand of Mother Earth. The right hand, only one place on earth where you gonna find a right hand glove, a mitten, the motherfucking murder mitten. Now, if the Jewish symbol is a black fist and they don't like black people, why we ain't paying that attention? Let's look at something else. La Cosa Nostra, also known as the Black Hand, was set at Sicily. But the La Cosa Nostra was a different hand. Actually, it was a foot. They was under the heel. They were Sicilians. Well, how did they get to Sicily? When Hannibal made his conquest, they rounded up all of his offspring because he was trying to spread that drop of blood in the process of making his overthrow of Rome. And they took all of the children to try to stop the drop of blood because they didn't want them to ever have a right to ascend and to come back and aid in the struggle for the liberation of planet Earth. So they rounded them all up and they put them on the island of Sicily, the sequestral. Ain't that right, Uncle Dago? Ain't that how it go? And so when they put them all on the island of Sicily, they figured they had them quarantined sufficiently enough that we wouldn't never be able to communicate. They got to be crazy. So we set something up over there. You call it today El Mafioso. We call it La Cosa Nostra, like them blackface Sicilians. I see that leader over there, but that leader ain't a real one. So I was going to do some poetry, and I was listening to this beautiful poem about how these women be abused by these wicked motherfuckers going upside their head and shit. And it gave me a flashback of a time, in another lifetime, when they wanted to remove a woman from her rightful position. They want to remove her from her rightful position so they can undermine her. Yakub, supplanters, underminers. We know y'all are, all of the imposters has been revealed. The signs of righteousness ain't for no games. You know? So, Crowley had to tell you, do as thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. But he ain't telling it all to you. I ain't gonna get into that. I'm just using that for my brothers to know what moves to make next. Because they already know. But for those watching, y'all might be confused and think I'm babbling. I'm not babbling. Everything I'm dropping is for a purpose. We are past that now. Their reign is up. The contract expired. See, they had to contract us as servitude in a certain way. This is your 14th Amendment. Involuntary servitude is your 14th. Voluntary servitude, or what they call meritorious manumission, meaning of your own accord. You can roam about this land of your own accord, but you have to pay what they call taxes. And as long as you are in your 3/5 state, they can tax you up to 3/5 of your of who you are. Because under the ancient code of kings, you can't tax a god. They think we forgot. We ain't forget. And then look at it and say, in all natives, non-tax. Gotta pay that attention. All natives, non-taxed. But they're gonna make it in a way where they can tax them later. See, that's where they messed up. They're breaking the contract by deception and think we're not gonna figure it out. And the laws say adhesion contracts are non-enforceable. Contracts by using duress is non-enforceable. Contracts by using deception is non-enforceable. So you got these people who are following the contract because they believe that the contract is an enforceable contract. The whole judicial system is predicated upon a false contract. That contract can't be enforced beyond this point. For one, the court contract expired. Look at your seals on your dollar, and you'll know who is behind it. And Enlil is the eagle. And the sons of righteousness is the pyramid. The contract is between the two. Right? Pay attention. I'm not going to go too deep into it right now. I'm going to come back to it later. I'm not going to leave y'all hanging, though, because I got to give y'all other people to give y'all information to clarify what I'm saying. And then now in this one, it should sound like I'm slightly cutting short on information. That's because I'm activating each one of the ones who hold a piece to the puzzle to do their part. Because we all got to do our part, and we all got to work together. Don't send your kids out there to fight for these animals. Don't let them deceive you. I'm going to post a Dane Calloway video on my page. I want y'all to check it out. And a couple more videos I'm going to post. I want y'all to check them out. I ain't going to hold this one real long because we got brothers waiting on me to shut up so they can do their part. And now that I done did this, and the Prime has spoke, and they all know what moves to make next. All those, surf YouTube, see what you can find. Yeah, Juanita, he the truth. He the truth. I like to call him the great Dane Calloway, because I like dogs, One of these days I'm gonna roll up with about 60 dogs. Motherfucker gonna be fucked up. I like dogs. Bow wow wow, yippee yo, yippee yay. We'll give a little quick update on a couple things, and then we're gonna dive into your questions. Okay, so the first update is, y'all know the FBI headquarters blew up yesterday in D.C. Okay, it was an inside job to cover up paperwork. But it don't matter because everything that's in the office that they trying to destroy, the CIA got it backed up anyway, and they just as dirty, and they caught. Another thing, I got the word from one of the sisters that she started a Patreon channel, and what she did, this is amazing, and she been listening to my videos because people saying I don't got no receipts. So she started a Rahe's receipt page on Patreon. And what she do is she posts my videos, and then all of the book references that I be dropping, she got any of them that's PDF formatted is in the downloadable format on the Patreon channel, which I'll be posting that Patreon channel later on when we get done. The water still haven't come back, and the Mississippi is drying up. This is a big fucking deal. So what is happening with the planet is there's something in our solar system that's drawing a magnetic pull on the equator. The rivers normally run on top of the ground, but some of them come from underground springs. The electromagnetic grid is being affected by an outside force. Whatever this thing is, it has to be massive because it's been had the water out on the Gulf almost 2 weeks. That water has to come back. The Jordan River, the Euphrates, they dried up. The Thames in Europe is dried up. It's a massive river in China that dried up. So there's rivers drying up. And the other side of that is the Sahara Desert and the Arabian Desert is seeing water in places they never had water. Rivers is popping up in places that there haven't been rivers in thousands of years. About a week ago, there was a river of fish springing up from underground. So what that's telling me is that wherever the water is, it condensed the fish into when it come up in a new place, that the fish roll down with the water when it come out of the new reservoir. So these are underground springs that's popping up in diverse dry places. Let me see what else for the updates. There is a video I'm going to share on my Facebook so that y'all can hear the story about Inky's return. Inky's coming back with the upgrade codes to the DNA, but Inky's only coming back through the solar rays to upgrade the DNA. His physical avatar can only come so close to the Earth without starting the catastrophe, unless the people of the Earth allow him back in. He's the geneticist that downgraded the human genome in order for them to use us as workers. And Enlil tried to sidetrack it and make us live very short lives so that we can never realize what's being done to us. We never live long enough to see what they've been doing. So we're going to all of this upgrades based on the time clock of the galactic cycle, and what's being done on Earth is to correct the errors. So some people can't get upgrades. They can't stay here. I don't know where they're going. I don't care where they're going. But the ones that can't take the upgrade, they don't mean us no good no way. So I would be overindulging in their plight in order to be given a fuck where they go. I don't care where they go. They just got to leave here. Right. So let me see. Oh, for the people that's asking questions about last names, and it's too much to type. I can't type everybody the meaning of their last names like that, because some of them are attached to tribal, traditional ways and cultural phenomenon that'll take me too long to explain. I think that's about it for the. Me and Young Elder are going to be doing something soon. I got to get back with him. We're going to go over that Inky video in one, but in another one we're gonna be doing the mud floods and the great fires when we've been at war this whole time and none of our people know it. So that's gonna be on the Young Elder page later on YouTube. So with that, we can get into it. Yeah, we can go on and get down to business. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can y'all hear in the chat?
Okay.
You can hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so we can get started whenever you're ready.
Oh, okay. Again, thank you so much, Brother Rod. It's such an honor to share this time with you and with your tribe. So first I want to say thank you so much. Thank you to the Soul Tribe out there. Soul Tribe here in Mexico loves you. Soul Tribe here in New Orleans, we love you. I contacted Rob Hayes because I had some questions. He talked a lot about Big Mama, right? And we've heard a lot about her and the spirit of Big Mama, as I like to sing. So, Rod, a lot of times in my work and healing, helping people to heal ancestrally, these mother wounds keep coming up. They keep coming up. And it's not like the mothers are horrible or they did anything wrong. It's just there was something that was wounded that was passed on down the generation, right? And we wonder, why do I do this? Or I can't stop doing that? Or this seems compulsive? Or I can't get this program from start running in the background. So my question to you is, what has been your experience with maybe working with people with mother wounds, or how might you define it? And what could be some things that we can look at to try to help us to heal from mother wounds?
So when we talk about mother wounds, it's the same as what we call caregiver syndrome. The mothers is so focused on taking care of the rest of the family, she ain't taking care of herself. By her doing that, if you get a shoulder ache, you still cooking dinner. You know, your back hurt, you still going in there and clean the house while the kids at school. You're still performing your functions as a caregiver. So when you study the trauma that caregivers go through, they don't take care of themselves. And this is where the mother wounds originate. It's caregiver syndrome. So busy take care of everybody else that you don't take care of you. So this is why the sisterhood is important. Because us as men, we can comfort our counterparts, but to recover from what you call mother syndrome or caregiver syndrome, the women need somebody that's going through the same things that they're going through, that can identify the certain traumas that they face. By doing this helps them to work through the problem as a group. The sisterhood is so important, but the sisterhood was broken by outside nefarious forces. We go to the Nation of Islam. Elijah Muhammad said the last trick of the devil is going to be to freely give you his woman. Right? So we thinking pale face. Enlil look like us. He just look like a light-skinned Negro. And he can change that. He can change his skin color. That's why they get the term shapeshifter. But he can calibrate to the solar rays that increases his melanin production in his skin. We used to have that ability. We used to camouflage like chameleons in the vegetation. So when you read the story of Chief Pontiac, and they say that the wolves came out of the shadow to offer and render aid, yeah, that was us. We werewolves, the ones who wear the wolf pelts. We the werewolves. We wear wolves. And they are the ones that call us like kin because we're not really related to them vampires. They bloodsuckers, adrenochrome drinkers, cannibals, and they love to consume the flesh of infants because they say the meat is tender. And so we got different views on things. Enlil children don't get two shits about how much suffering we go through. But if we do anything to them, they scream to hell and high heaven that we touched one of them. Fall out, throw a tantrum, the Karen syndrome. That's the traditional behavior. So when women come around, our women, we used to couldn't recognize them off appearance. But they got tail signs. Like they don't care nothing about taking care of the uterus. They don't care about that. So they'll smell like a half a herd of cows coming out from between their legs. That's not normal for our women. Our women don't behave in a manner to neglect the uterus, the womb, the yoni. So we develop yoni priestess to give reverence to the womb. Now we finna get to who is Big Mama and where she at. So I have a video I did on YouTube a couple years called Let's Examine the Structure of Creation. And in the process, I ran into something called the primordial noon, N-U-N, in ancient Kemet. The primordial noon is the primordial waters of creation, aka the womb of Big Mama. So when you look out into the darkness of space, that's melanin that you're looking at. And that melanin is sentient, and the energy that causes it to be sentient, we call it Big Mama energy. When you see the portrayal of Big Mama in Kemet in Egypt, she's portrayed as a hippopotamus head woman with a crocodile tail, and we call her Tawaret, and she carries a meat cleaver. Because she don't play. She will whop your ass with that meat cleaver. But at the same time, she'll go use that meat cleaver to go cook dinner. You see?
Right.
So that's when we say Big Mama, we talk about prime forces of creation that produce what we see as life. You can't escape it. She personifies as something called the Dark Mother, right? The old crone, the dark old crone mother with the real bad attitude that they're taking everybody's kids. She got a real bad attitude, cursed like a sailor, but she makes sure everybody in the clan is taken care of. When she sent her boys out, we don't come back unless the job is done. Some of us never made it home. Right? So she sent me to come and find out what the problem was on Earth and fix it. It ain't nothing personal, it's just family business. Big Mama wanted done. Mama said, now remember what Big Mama told you, baby, because you're going to have to make sure you leave no stone unturned. Oh, yes, ma'am. Yes. So, and, there's a lot of things that they point their finger at me and said when I was a little boy that they wouldn't do that shit while I'm a grown-ass man. Right? I'm a mama's boy. I'm going to grow up and be a sissy. I'm always under my mama skirt tail. Motherfucker, fuck you and the horse you rode in on. My mama gave me more motherfucking knowledge than any school teacher I ever had.
Yeah, absolutely.
And my father taught me how to find knowledge. So when I put the two together, I can't disrespect my father and I can't disrespect my mama. So
That's right.
I don't care if they thought I was going to be something. Because what I turned out to be, when they thought I was a little monkey boy, I was just a baby gorilla. Now I'm here to rattle their motherfucking cages for this Planet of the Apes shit. Because Anunnaki said that the humans, being primates, we monkeys. They called us monkeys. That's where we got the term. We ain't run from it. Right? So that's why they called the priests monks, short for monkey. We don't give two flying fucks. Fuck you. Psycho Ma going crazy in this bitch. We gonna get all the information and we gonna give it to these sisters because this is their shit. See, people be thinking I be moving for a position for me. I'm not moving for nothing for me. My mama said don't let nobody take anything from your brothers and sisters. Well, somebody took my sister's shit and I want my sister to get her shit back. I worry about my shit after my brothers and sisters get theirs.
Wow.
This machine ain't running the way it's supposed to run because the power ain't where it belongs.
Right.
You know, so here he comes, Sun Wukong, the undefeated one. They called him the Hano Man because he was a fucking handyman. They was good to have around, right? And then they thought he was a Nimrod because all of the guys feared Nimrod because he would beat their motherfucking ass about his mama and his sisters. I don't give a fuck if you say you God. I will kick you off your high and mighty and bring you down to the low. It's nothing personal. Just leave my sisters and my brothers the fuck alone. Well, until we all get a peace, we ain't gonna see no peace. So I came to get us all a peace so that we can have some peace.
I love it. Thank you.
So thank you.
Because as you sound the alarm, there are women like myself and others listening, and we're waking up. I've seen a lot in my work. They're waking up to this new higher consciousness, this awareness. This is just great. So what would you suggest for women who want to connect to that, the cosmic mother, who want to connect to Big Mama? What ways, what are some things that are practical that anybody can do, but especially for women, how we can connect ourselves? You talked a little about the yoni. Yes.
Yep. So the spiritual bath is the cornerstone of Earth women. The spiritual bath has been removed from the mainstream culture because it also is a prime treatment for caregiver syndrome. They had a commercial in the 70s called Calgon Take Me Away.
Yeah.
The whole philosophy of the commercial was about mother healing mother wounds. Right? Calgon has so happened to capitalize on the psychological subconscious memory in order to compel women to use the Calgon bath, but that's not a spiritual bath. It's a book. It's a really good book on spiritual baths. You can get it up for a little bit of nothing off of Amazon, called 105 Spiritual Baths.
Okay.
It's excellent.
Thank you.
And find it's a sister in New York. She run a group called the Goddess Glow Up. I believe she's a priestess of Oshun, but I haven't talked to her to find out for sure. But all her movements say she's an Oshun priestess. But she run a group called the Goddess Glow Up, who do retreats for women to recover from the different traumas they face here.
Oh wow. Wow.
And yeah, so and you can look at her page on Facebook and you can see her work. What do they do? What do it look like? When the women wear white, you're supposed to wear the white at the fresh water. Right? But then the Oshun priest is supposed to be in gold if it's an Oshun ceremony. Oye is supposed to be blue, Yemiya purple. I could have the last two backwards, but I'm pretty sure it's Oye is blue, Yemiya is purple. But when you're doing those saltwater ceremonies, you know what I'm saying, the colors of the priestess match the Orisha energy she's honoring. And when they do that, all of those women in white harness the solar energy that's amplified by the water, and then they become Tesla coils. And if you put a group of Tesla coils together, you're going to have a reaction.
Wow.
Yep. Let me see what else. Body cleansing. The cleansing into the liver is critical. The cleansing of the kidneys. And the lymphatic system is one of the most neglected systems in the body. Right?
I agree.
And when you see people retaining water with diabetes, it's because their lymphatic system is congested.
Right.
Right. So you have to keep those systems. Once them systems is clean, your physiology operates normal. Now, grounding, walking on the barefooted on the ground, sitting on the ground, you could use like wicker, or you could use a wicker mat for a seat if you don't want to sit on the bare ground, but the bare ground is best. The dirt of the earth ain't never been a problem to us because it also increases the immune system of the children when they play in the dirt. We don't want to talk about that. We want to bathe the dirt off of them, but you're supposed to let them get a little dirty when they play first. The dirt also helps to calibrate the energy that you have to the energy of the earth, right? So all of those things are critical for the female healing, right? And let me see. The herbalist I use is the one here. My herbalist is named Dr. Pittman. Keon Pittman, he's in Pontiac. He can be found on Facebook under Doc Pitt. Also, the Women Are Ready group, led by Dr. G, all of the sisters just want to connect, but they don't want to be part of organizations. I've been sending them to her. The ones who need organizational structure, I tell them go into the beginners class for the MGTGCC, the Nation of Islam, because they teach the stuff, you know. So if they already doing the work, it's easier for me to send you to somebody that's already doing the work than it is to start it up from scratch. Right. So other people looking to create a cult, I'm looking to develop culture. I don't want no cult. Right. So that's why you send the people where the people doing the work is at, so you don't have a cult. Right.
Exactly.
Right. So when you don't have a cult, they can't call you a psychotic cult leader that's misleading people. But the people know when he can't be a cult because he done sent me somewhere else.
Right. Exactly.
Right. So those cult leaders normally is in it for the money. They in it for the money and the control of other people. I don't give a fuck about no money. I don't give a fuck about controlling that motherfucker. All I give a fuck about is getting my sister her shit back, getting my brother their shit back, and then we can go about our business. Because when they ain't happy, I ain't happy. I came in on 10 because they exhausted 1 through 9 already. You know, so it is what it is.
Absolutely. Thank you for. Yes.
You see this Babalaw right here? I don't know if he's a real Babalaw, but there is a ceremony for the ones who have substance abuse problem. Over here, we used to do a ayahuasca ceremony. On the motherland, we do what's called an Igbo gang ceremony. I always say don't do them without an experienced priest to walk you through it because they dream walkers. The priest that leads you through it is dream, so you can get stuck and trapped if you don't have an experienced priest overseeing the ceremony. But they will, when you do, you have an experience, you can no longer be addicted. It's not possible.
Right.
So I think, is that it for that question?
Absolutely. And we have those ceremonies here in Mexico as well, all over. And those who come to visit us, they depending on again where they are, they partake in those experiences, and it's tremendous. The ones that we do are tremendous. So I just love what you talked about, even about what we can do as women. Number one is that cleansing process. Part of our tradition is before we try to heal anything and put our stuff on top, let's cleanse. Let's get whatever is ailing us out and give our body, our spirits, our minds the opportunity to exercise itself and to work for us. And so I love that ideology, and it's just so important. And when we do physical cleanses, spiritual cleanses, emotional cleanses, energetic cleanses in our home, cleaning everything becomes so important. That to me has always been fundamental. So that makes perfect sense. I really appreciate that. Another question I have.
Big Mama used to mop the house with Florida water.
Yes. Yes. From the back to the front, you got to catch the corners, because they said the corners are intersection. They hold the energy. No cobwebs that hold energy. All of these different things, which we say are old school. Now, all these things we would say, oh, that's old time, are some fundamentals of spiritual hygiene. And I find that a lot of people have forgotten a lot of the spiritual hygiene and the things that we're talking about right now as we honoring Big Mama, it's also honoring ourselves and getting back to those things of cleanliness of mind, body, and soul. And so all of that makes perfect sense. One of the things I had mentioned, well, I should say that I've heard you talk about, is that these children are being born into this realm, and some of the superpowers that they're coming into, which are a lot different, and some of them are being labeled as ADD, ADHD, or whatever they want to call our children. We know that this time they're downloading, they're coming here with a special purpose. What type of advice would you give to parents and families that are caring for a child, for example, who may have a speech delay or may have other superpowers or anything that would be quote unquote out of the mold? How would be the best way you would recommend that they care for that child with the special energy?
The first thing is, if you send them to the school, you can forget about it. You ain't going to be able to do what's necessary to offer the proper aid and assistance to your child. But one of the things is, if you have a boy or girl that they say is hyperactive, the girls, we developed in Atlanta something called gymnastics. That's for girls with high Shakti energy. They diagnosing those girls now with ADD, ADHD, bipolar disorder. They just not teaching them how to harness that energy. So we gave them gymnastics. The more rebellious but more highly feminine types was given figure skating, and they was given different synchronized swimming, because they're controlling the less hostile rebellious energy. But gymnastics is more aggressive. Some of the females, if they lift a little bit of weights, it'll help them tune down that high energy output, and then they become more. If you look at Dominique Dawes now, beautiful woman. If she wouldn't have went through the gymnastics training that she did, she would be a problem. She would be a problem. She would be one of them sisters that the system has to mount an army against. But she was able to temper that energy. That high Shakti energy, that's them warrior women. And we had exercises, like roller skating is a variant of figure skating. Right? The girls used to skate and the guys used to skateboard. It was just a harnessing of the energy. For the boys, shit, take them outside, let them motherfuckers run till they wear down. Then you try to teach them something. And don't be scared to give them the CBD oils that doesn't have THC in it, because it relaxes the central nervous system.
Right.
So that's a very, very important thing. Then you got teas you can give them to help inner peace, like skullcap tea. Another one I think is called Jonathan Winters tea. What's the other one? It's a couple of different teas but it calms the central nervous system, and then now they can focus. See, they rather give them a pharmaceutical that's going to give them permanent damage, so it's harder to correct them later. You don't need that. It's herbs. It's herbs for all of this. Right now, I'm a little rusty on my herbology, but I used to know this off the top of my head 5-10 years ago. I used to run it all down because I gave the same stuff to people I used to work with. They come in to work, all this brought about their child, and then I talk to them, I'm like, well, just try this. And they come back and be like, I don't know where you got that remedy from. But they work. Right? So it's different stuff depending on the child.
Absolutely. And in our tradition, it was very common for us to give our children herbs. And Caribbean people would drink tea. Actually, I have mine right here. Depending on what's going on. So, soursop is a great one. We have it on our website, but you can get it. The good organic soursop is really good for calming the central nervous system. It's great for sleep and relaxation if there's cases of insomnia. And it's also good for any type of cell in the body that grows abnormally, i.e. cancer, i.e. tumors. It goes in and eats away at the bad functioning cell that keeps the good one intact. So it's very safe. Men, women, children, all ages can take soursop leaf, the leaf, not the fruit in this context. It's really good. Lemon balm is also amazing for children with nervous stomach So the anxiety seems in going to the stomach, or when they're going to school and they're like, oh, mommy, my stomach hurts, or something, they're leaving and you know their stomach is hurting them. It doesn't know why. Lemon balm is really good. And it's also very high in antimicrobial, antibacterial, so it'll keep them healthy and strong. And these are some things that we can do to help ourselves. Like the mother gives us air, water. You know, these are all of the resources that are all around us, so we can help to heal ourselves. So family, think about getting on this herbal journey. Find out what's around you, what's local, and what can really help you to be well. So I 100% concur on that.
So just a couple of things. The yoni, when it's alkaline, none of the diseases that affect us wouldn't be there. Nothing can live
Right.
there in the alkaline state. The herpes can't live there. It need to be in an anaerobic environment. Gonorrhea can live there because it needs an aerobic environment. All of these diseases that we run into, if the woman's yoni is alkaline instead of acidic, it can't exist there. It can't stay there. It won't. It won't.
Right.
It can't survive. It's like
Right.
dropping one of these kids off 8 years old in the desert, telling them to find your way to a civilization. They're not going to survive because the environment is too hostile for what they're capable of doing. Right? The
Exactly.
cancer. Yeah, candida yeast is probably the number one killer that we don't never hear about. Right?
That's true.
Cancer is from DNA replication, and then the DNA parts break off from the chain and become a free radical. The broken chain then is deformed. If you're not taking the supplemental amino acid, or if you don't have enough vitamin and mineral components in the blood to rebuild that DNA strand, it's gonna attack itself. Right?
Right.
Once it starts folding in on itself, it's gonna try to correct the error, but it can't. Then it's gonna grow what you call a mass or a tumor, which is a whole bunch of those motherfuckers. But the
Right.
simple process of cleaning the liver increases or decreases your cancer risk by 60% just by cleaning your liver. The cleaning your
Wow.
liver also decreases congestive heart failure by
Yes.
like 90% because congestive heart failure, the fluid buildup in the heart cavity is the perspiration of the liver. Cleaning the liver, it'll get rid of about 95% of high blood pressure because most high blood pressure, they don't tell you, is called portal hypertension, where the congested liver causes the portal valve to the liver to back up the pressure in the rest of the body because it can't effectively filter through the liver.
Right.
Right. So just cleaning the liver alone, that's milk thistle, burdock root, dandelion root, just those three alone, and it starts to increase your health.
Yes.
Right. Now, your intestines, you clean your liver first because the bile that allows your digestive tract to run comes from the liver through the spleen. So when your bile ducts become congested, your stool is abnormal, which causes stomach problems. The acids begin to burn the stomach lining because it doesn't have the bile barrier to block it. Right.
Right.
So all of
Right.
these things is critical for health, and not just for the female, but for the men too.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I've seen too, I don't know if you noticed about Rod, but when I see, like, I had liver disease about 10 years ago, and I also had cervical cancer, which I healed myself of completely, and I help others to do the same. And what I noticed about the liver in particular, since you brought it up, that the emotion that causes, what is the energy, the vibration, all right, has me thinking. And so what I've seen is that the emotion, rather, of frustration, the emotion of anger, sort of sits in the liver, right? And so
Oh Lord, don't let them start this shit when we start getting good. I don't know what's going on. Well, she'll come back in. I'm pretty sure. She'll come back in.
All right.
All right, there you go.
Thank you.
I was like, this Instagram doing this BS again.
Grateful to be back. Thank you all so much. And so when we see these emotions, right, that sit in the liver, we think of anger and frustration. And so what is causing the anger? What is causing the frustration? Because I've helped people with these conditions and if the energy itself. What are we angry? If we angry at the world? Are we angry at our mother? Are we angry at how we was raised? Are we angry at the job, society? All of those emotions are frustrating and sit right in the liver. Right. And so I think when people are talking about healing and detoxing, you also have to, again, like I said, the emotions of it. And so it's just so important just to think about the emotions. And another thing, too, people who wake up 3 o'clock in the morning. Now, according to the Chinese time clock, I think 3 to 5 is the hour of the liver, where it's working this best to detox. So you're and you can't go back to sleep constantly. And you may be frustrated subconsciously. You may be angry at something subconsciously. And it may be just an indication, just to look and see what energy is trying to get your attention and start to heal that. To help also to heal your liver, along with what Brother Rod mentioned. Milk thistle seed is also a great herb. If you have a little bit of liver left, you go on a great cleansing diet and use milk thistle seed in addition to the herbs Brother Rod mentioned. It will help to regrow and regenerate your liver. It's very good. And another way you can tell if you have a liver condition, you can look at your skin. Is it blotchy? Is it uneven? Are you breaking out? Is it itchy? Is it eczema-like? These are some things that you can look to self-diagnose yourself. A lot of people want to run to the doctor and get a cream for this and get a cream for that, but mother's like, I got a protocol for all of that. What you're going to do is fast. What you're going to do is take these herbs. What you're going to do is relax. What you're going to do some spiritual work. These are just all messengers to say, hey, pay attention to what's out of alignment. So anytime you see anything, it's always just a messenger of what might be out of alignment.
So we got different glands that secrete different secretions. Every one of our emotions is tied to a gland. This is what the old Kemetic medical system taught.
Right.
So all of the glands is responsible for running you through the emotion to help you resolve that energy. The secretions is there, right? So when I say, for instance, when you fall in love, what is going on in the body? Oxytocin production in male and female. You have a rapid dopamine rush in the system whenever the person is pulling on your heartstring. Then you produce what they call neuroepinephrine, and then you produce beta endorphin. That's the chemicals your brain produce as the love cocktail. The side effect, or why it's doing this, is because somebody is causing your mitochondria to say that's a match. Mitochondrial is responsible for powering your cells. And it's also responsible for translating the love energy into the cells. That's why you can look at a woman and she's like, "Oh, girl, you in love." I can look at you and tell, and she just be giggling. How you know, girl? You know? I can tell it's written all over your face. I can see you. Right? Dudes can't do that. We can't look at each other and be like, "Hey, you in love." We don't do that. We can't see it. But the woman see it instantly because she controls mitochondrial. When somebody's mitochondrial is moving, she recognizes it. Because she's looking for the opportunity to move somebody's mitochondria. I'm going to turn that shit up. I'm looking for me in the daytime for the flash. Right? So when the sisterhood get together, if you put 3 women in love in the same room, and can't nobody in there be mad, you can't be disappointed, you can't be angry. It just you can try. You come in, and then when them 3 sisters look at you and smile, you leave me alone. I can't even be fucking mad. Like, it's that energy, that love energy, that mitochondrial secretion and it's also responsible for what we call the placebo effect of healing, which is the healing of anything that's wrong with us. Right? So when you talk about in the Bible, when they say touch the hem of his garment, that's the queen of heaven and earth. It's the only one you can do that with, because she's the only one that carry that much love. That's a whole lot of love energy that can touch the hem of their garment and be made whole. Right? That's a lot of mitochondrial output. But then watch what she say. Who touched me?
Right.
How the fuck you know you touched your clothes, lady?
Your clothes.
How you know? Right? So that's
Right.
the thing right there that keeps that energy. That's how you know that the Christ ain't no man. Aside from going to
Right.
Greek and it's spelled IESOUS, that says ISIS all day long,
Right.
using the grammar key.
Right.
Aside along from that, the character, love your enemy.
Love. Love. Love.
And kill him with love. Let the love do it. Man, fuck that shit. I'm gonna beat that nigga ass. No, baby, you can't fight everybody. Everybody not worth you fighting.
That's right.
Wish them love and send them on their way and watch what life do to them because you can't match that shit.
That's right.
You can't match that shit. My mama made me forgive some people I did not want to forgive. I look at him now and I'm like, I'm glad I ain't killed that ratchet motherfucker because he done missed all that punishment. He done missed all
Right.
that punishment. I can see that
Yes.
shit now. Yep.
Right.
Pull your ass up by your bootstraps, nigga. You tried to motherfucking murder me and I let your ass go and look at you now.
Mm.
Look at you now. Look what life did to you 25
Right.
years, 30 years later. Life did some shit
Right.
to your ass that my revenge could have never did. You can't be a dirty motherfucker and that shit sustain you. It's gonna
That's
kick you
right.
down. And the only people I ever had any malice toward been some dirty motherfuckers.
Right.
That's it. I don't have no malice toward nobody that ain't doing nothing to me. Or the people I love. I don't
Right.
got no malice. I don't walk around. Even the people I be mad at when they ain't around, I don't feel a drop of anger.
That's
Ain't no
beautiful.
anger there. But when I see them, oh, I remember. Motherfucker, I was mad at you. But look what life
Yeah.
did to you. I ain't even mad no more.
Right. You
You
ain't have to
know,
do
that's
nothing. You just freaking.
like, look, I used to tell dudes in the street, let him live. Life gonna do something to him that your bullet can't never
Yeah.
do.
That's true.
And life will kick your motherfucking the balls quick.
Yes. Yes. And I've been seeing a lot of that come quickly, that karmic cycle. I've been seeing it, like people catching it. Like in this season we're in, I don't know what's going on or how the stars are aligned, but I've been seeing that thing come quick, quick, quick. And I'm like, ooh, I'm
You
so
think
glad I'm
it's
out of
been
it. Ooh, I'm so glad
you,
I'm out of work.
you think it's been coming quick? Wait till Tuesday.
Oh,
Motherfuckers gonna
Tuesday.
get instant karma.
Ooh. No.
Soon as they start close, because they started the close of this Haitian revolutionary conjure Saturday, right? The first ritual be
Wow.
done. The first ritual be done Monday, and then that
Get
24
out.
hour turnaround on that energy. Come Tuesday, a whole bunch of motherfuckers gonna be getting instant karma, and a whole lot of
Wow.
motherfuckers, Mother Nature finna turn off their brain and their heart.
You know what? That's funny you say that because my father, he's Haitian. I had asked him about it a year ago. I said, "What's up?" I feel like something. And he's like, "Oh, you know." And I said, "What about this conjure?" So that's one of the questions I had for you about how that conjure and that ritual is about to go down, how it's going to impact indigenous people, or how. Let me not say that. Let me say people who have been working on themselves, people who have been in alignment, versus those who have not been. Like, how will we be able to know the impact of this thing?
You're gonna be able to feel it, especially the
Mm.
sisters, because it's the return of the sweet water comes on the heels.
Uh-huh.
So there was a priestess who gave her life, volunteered to sacrifice herself for us to be victorious in our war.
Indeed.
And then there's another priestess who was officiating, and it was a general in the military, and they needed a root worker. So they called in a guy from Jamaica they called the Bookman.
Mm-hmm.
Duddy Bookman came from Jamaica. I didn't know this at first. Right? I didn't notice at first. I thought he
Mm-hmm.
was Haitian like Tucson. He wasn't. He was
Right.
from Jamaica. They sent for him. Now, the reason that it's still open is because every time the priesthood of Haiti was infiltrated by dirty Moors. They look
Ah,
like
okay.
us, but they out for the money. They not trying to get nobody. What we really use the voodoo and the hoodoo for, we really use it for healing more than anything else and defensive magic, right?
Right. Right. Absolutely.
Well, they didn't want to close the conjure because as long as that
Mm-hmm.
conjure was open, Haiti could suffer. The only one that appeased the gods
Right.
correctly was the one that we call Papa Doc. Papa Doc,
Mm.
if you go back and look at him, he used to paint his face with the white paint.
Mm.
That's the war paint, right? And he used to
Mm-hmm.
dress up like the Baron with the top hat and the long coat. Right. That's what he was kissing the god's ass literally to that's why he stayed in power so long.
Oh no.
right? And he
Right.
could have increased the people's comfort in Haiti, but it's only so much you can do when a war conjure is open. You can't have a war conjure open and Oshun be present. That's not gonna happen. And Oshun
Right.
is
Right.
over the wealth and the sustenance of a people. So until that conjure closed, so since it was already open, when they called the 200-year conjure war in America, they sent Haitians to Florida.
Mm.
Everybody did. Jamaica sent them. You go down there, all you gotta do is look. They all on the land. That's because
Mm.
tribes came as far away as the Polynesian islands, the Tonga, the islands from Alaska, right? So every tribe sent somebody. That's why the majority of the people is condensed in that part of the land. We don't
Right.
like to live on top of each other like
Right. Um, right. Right.
yeah, I had a call. I had a call coming in, but I'm trying to finish this class first. Yeah, but we didn't live like that. So when they all came in, right? Um, all of this made the war conjure have to be closed in Florida. The irony
Okay.
of it is the bookman had reached out to me. I didn't know it was him. I couldn't see him unless the priestess who officiated showed me who it was. The priestess who sacrificed live in Florida. The bookman is in Florida, right?
I heard you say that.
Tucson is making he's closer to Florida than he was born in Chicago, right?
Wow.
That's
Okay.
crazy because they say Chicago was settled by a Haitian
I heard
named
that.
Jean Baptiste du Sable, right? Which means John the Black Baptist in English.
Mm.
But Chicago been a
Mm-hmm.
metropolis for us. So they knew that's not a new city. New York not new. The metropolises of aged old times and the energy centers, all of the major cities. Right? So
Right.
when they all down there now to close the conjure, and I couldn't see the bookman until I seen the priestess who flipped the bookman. And I was like, holy shit. I was reading the lapis lazuli piece he sent me, right? And it was something that I couldn't see and I didn't know what it was. But soon as she flipped them to me, I looked at it and immediately know what it was. Right? So that changes everything. So they begin the closing of the contract, right? When he adjourned the court in the matter of Toussaint Louverture in the Haitian Revolution, right? He's the one who officiated as the high priest over the ceremony. So he has to be the one
Mm-hmm.
to close it. Everybody who opened the conjure, they have to come close it.
Mm. Wow. Okay. So that's good. So we can be anticipating a shift. For some of us, should be able to feel this shift happening starting Tuesday. Is what you're saying, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
They might start
That's
feeling
good.
it over the weekend because leading up to it, once I put the pieces together, I be getting messages so fast and so hard I can't keep up. And I'm a bad motherfucker with keeping up with messages.
Right.
They've been coming
Right.
in hot and heavy because it's
Wow.
like